every payday, when my bills add up to more than what I brought in, I have to figure out where to cut corners. I could help you with that. I am great at that. I've done it for many, many years, and I've done it way more now in the last year. I could tell you what programs aren't being utilized, what books were ordered that nobody uses. I could tell you what programs that the parents were complaining about. Every day, I had a laundry list of reasons, of things that were not working out with PA Cyber. What did I know? I was new. I just tried to make them feel better. But they're all the same things that I keep hearing. They all hated the switch in the curriculum. They all hated the change in the personnel. They all hated this. They all hated that. And they hated the tech issues. I can't do that. I'm not thinking that. However, those were issues that are not our fault. And had anybody asked us, I could have told you where the issues were. I could have told you. I knew. Every day I knew. Nobody asked us. Nobody said, what do you guys think? What kind of feedback are you getting? Where can we make this better? Now, I'm going to go back to the money because that's my biggest thing. I know I did a great job. I know I wasn't fired because I sucked. I know that. However, when was the last time that any of you told your kids, you can't do something because we don't have the money? When was the last time any of you saw a Duquesne light or a People's Natural Gas truck and thought, whoa, wonder if this is the day? How many shut-off notices have you guys gotten? That didn't stop me from coming to work. Do you know how many times I went without buying groceries for a month? Because I didn't get paid enough. You want me to pay my bills? You want me to feed my family? Do you know how many times I didn't pick up my medicine? He did. And I could have done his without a degree. And I knew when he came in that was what his job was. This isn't my first time in the rodeo. I worked in an industry that really did tank. Education's not tanking. You're not. You're not going anywhere. People still need to go to school. Kids still want to go to school. Kids still want their classes. And you have some awesome classes. I wish that I could double dip. I wish that my daughter could go to school in Midland and take classes here. Because some of the things that you guys offer, even regular high schools don't offer. And it's amazing. But all these kids are walking away from that because they're not being heard. They can't get on their laptops. Nothing works. It shuts down. Well, they can't have this curriculum anymore. We switched to something else. The parents don't even understand it. Some of them were here for like 13 years or something ridiculous. They've been here from the beginning. So, and then I thought, I shot myself in the foot. Because there were 3 admin assistants on my floor. One was out hurt. One was busy with graduation. By the way, everybody but like 2 people from the graduation committee are gone. However, so I did it all. Keystones, PSSAs. I was the go-to. I thought, yeah, I'm rocking this out. Like, I am really kicking butt. I can do this, right? I can do the job of 3 people. Look at me go. Somebody's going to notice. You know what they did? They turned around and said, well, obviously, one good person can do it. We'll get rid of that one that can do it. We don't need that many then. Okay, now this is something that, because, you know, if this goes through and I'm out of here anyway, I want to know this. I don't know who else paid attention, because I pay attention to weird things. But in June, it was found that some of the raises were incorrect. And this goes back to me wanting his job. How is it that it took an entire year to figure out that those raises were wrong? You mean to tell me that your budget balanced every month and all of a sudden is wrong? And I don't know about you, but I know if I am a penny off on my calculations on any, whether it's my wallet, my checkbook, my savings account, I'll find that issue. And it's not going to take me a year. So I wondered, how do you not see that? And then if you're going to Indian give it back, where are you putting it? Because now you told us that you can't afford to keep us. Well, where did it go? That was a little question I had there. So, instead of, like I said, you know how much I make. I mean, seriously. My last paycheck in July, when it wasn't even correct, it was like, what, $320? I'm going to make $355 on unemployment. Now, I'm not only in the poverty level, I'm scraping the bottom of the poverty level. However, sorry, that's personal. But there were no other pay cuts. There was no other pay cuts. There was no other early retirements. There was no freezes. There was nothing. It was, cut them. But you make the decision who's going to get cut, because we don't really want to know. Okay, so then we have books, we have programs we were never utilized, but we paid for. That's just sitting somewhere collecting dust in this basement. And then we talked about how the paychecks weren't right. And one thing that really got to me was that, and this is a personal thing now, before I would say, yeah, I work at PA Cyber. And I would be very proud of that fact. And now, when I say, yeah, I was one of the ones from PA Cyber, and all of a sudden, now I'm hearing stories about how sneaky and underhanded and all these things that have happened. Huh? Nobody said anything like that before, but now all of a sudden I'm on the other side, and I'm finding out that it's not as clean cut as it used to be. It's not just the teachers, and it's not just the parents, and it's not just the family. It's everybody making a decision. And then when this went down, yeah, it was not good at all. So now, thanks to all of this and ATI, we've really put Midland on the map. That's good. That's real good. So, I just want to let you know that after you fire me tonight, you can replace him with me. Because I could fix your budget issues in about 2 hours. I could fix them like that. And I bet I could save just about everybody without hurting.
I've been a science teacher since 2009. Since that time, I've worked in and around the city of Pittsburgh, where I've lived for the last 15 years, and I was not content working in traditional brick-and-mortar settings, where at times issues of safety and respect were concerns for both students and for teachers. When I was hired by PA Cyber, I finally found a teaching position that was the right fit for me. I found an atmosphere where students could focus without outside distraction, where I could teach and spread my passion for learning about science. And during my time at PA Cyber, I was very proud to be a part of our learning community and our family. And I believe that student learning came first. I really thought student learning came first. I was impressed by the level of camaraderie and collaboration I shared with the other teachers in the science department. And on July 21st, when I received the email alerting us of the terminations, my heart sank. And although I know my time at PA Cyber was short, I also know that it made a difference to the students and the families that I served. This was evidenced by my strong connections that I made with my families. Emails from parents stating and telling me that because of my class, their child was inspired to learn more about science and to love science. And students telling me that they never enjoyed the subject until they had my class. So I know I made a difference. I was saddened, and I am saddened by leaving and frustrated that teachers with less overall experience
are safe in their job while I was let go. I don't understand why PA Cyber administrators would terminate positions without first cutting corners in other areas like early retirement, salary freezes, or reduced benefit packages. I wonder if PA Cyber would continue to lose students when the public sees that the student-to-teacher ratio will be increased. Will parents enroll their children in competing cyber schools, where smaller class size does dictate increased learning and higher test scores? I don't have the answer to these questions, but I hope the board has considered these scenarios when they make their decision and consider alternatives that can be made before you uproot people's lives, people's livelihoods. I just think about that before you make a decision.
I have been a loyal employee here for 10 years. I have never been late. I have done my job and beyond. And it behooves me that people with less seniority are still here, some with 2 years seniority, and I was let go. Changes that were made last year affected myself and many other administrative assistants. We didn't ask for those changes. If you didn't have room for us or somewhere to put us, there are other departments that are desperate for help. That was not done. Now, they're still desperate for help. We don't have to be let go. We could be put in other positions to do our job. I'm asking, please do not fire me and everyone around in this room, because we are good employees, we're good friends. Thank you.
Secretary.
Look, I am not a PA Cyber employee, but I am not an outsider either. I'm here for my wife. I'm here for all the people that are here. I'm for the people that aren't even furloughed here. I feel like I belong to PA Cyber. I don't even work for this place. After I heard of the furlough, since that furlough first happened, I've heard and read a lot of things about PA Cyber, and it saddens me. It used to be, I'm going to say, a bright place, but that light has dimmed in this organization. It's dimmed because I think some of the decisions that have been made. I'm in education. I've been in education for 22 years. I work, after seeing how this place is going downhill, it makes me feel a lot better about the place that I work. I work for a great organization. You talk about people with raises and stuff. You know, when we had some good years, we've had some good years where I work. We've saved our money. We didn't spend it. We saved it in case of a rainy day. Because all of you know, rainy days, they come. They come. And you need to be prepared. You know, last year, our president, all the way down, you want to ask me how much we got in raises last year? Doesn't take a calculator to add 0. We got none. From the president down. Because you know why? We saved our money over the years. And I'm not saying that we're not going through some tough times. Judy will tell you at CCBC, there's some tough times. Go to Geneva, they're going through some tough times. But if you save your money correctly, and you evaluate things, you can save jobs. We've laid off very minimal over this time period, because we're well run. Another thing that I think is crazy is there's the communication level here between departments that almost doesn't exist. And that's sad. I want you to know where I work, every March, we have a 3-day managers retreat. This is where we all get together. Whether you're the maintenance department, the faculty, inside admissions, outside admissions, the president of school, hell, we even had board members who come to this. And they sit down and they give ideas. We have what's called a strategic plan for X number of years. We have what's called an operational plan where we sit down for those 3 days and we go over and discuss what we need to do for this year to be successful and to see the things that we want to accomplish. You know, I work with other departments. In my operational plan, I may have to work with the faculty because we have certain projects that I need them on. You know, we meet throughout those 3 days. We get on the same page before we leave to figure out how we're going to accomplish this. Just by hearing and seeing some of the things that goes on here, I think there's only a few people that are really truly making the decisions here. You know what I also feel? That there's a lot of great people that work for PA Cyber whose voices aren't heard. I think there's a lot of people in this room that have some great ideas, but it goes to the wayside. Faculty, they should be working a little bit more with somebody else. The IT department with somebody else. How can you correct these things? I had the president of our school call me in today. He said, Vince, how's things going with you and Emily? He knows my wife's name. He knows she works here. He knows she got laid off. And I said, Greg, we'll see tonight after the meeting. He said, if there's anything I can do, you let me know. I'm going to tell you, after the last meeting, that I don't think you have that here. Your CEO was on the phone, and I'm sitting over there, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he's not on this phone during this important meeting. Because when I have a meeting, when I'm at work,
And that was right here. I just want to.
I know.
I don't know who you.
I was on the phone last meeting. And then when I have a meeting at work, the folks on my team know to put the phone down, to turn it off, to do whatever you got, because what I have to say is very important. And then, not only after the meeting, I want some feedback.
So, Chief, remember we have an hour.
I know we got some time, because I'm going to get to one other.
Point of clarification, Mr.
The
Hayden.
relevance.
We got an hour.
Point of clarification on
The
the hour.
relevance of the agenda items.
Well,
Thank you.
point of clarification on your unilateral declaration that you're gonna listen, you're gonna take your valuable time, and these people's lives are at stake. And you're gonna limit 60 minutes. I'd like you to direct my attention to your board bylaws, or your policy, or anything else, because Mr. Elder at the last meeting indicated he was only gonna hear comments from each person for 3 minutes. I reminded Mr. Elder that if it's a board policy, it has to be on the agenda and adopted at a board meeting. Now, if
Mr. Hayden, we have the right to set a reasonable amount of time.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to Mr. Hayden, I'm directing my
Well, that's
comments
fine,
to
and
the
I'm
chair.
responding to Mr.
You have no position to answer me unless I get to question you.
Well, then get in line and talk when your term's up.
I have my name on the
You're out
list.
of order.
I have my name on the list, I wanna know where I could find that.
You're out of
Mr.
order.
Hayden.
Please continue.
Where can I find
Let
that?
him talk.
Where can I find that? Tell me who says you get to say that these people can only talk for 60 minutes.
The board is not here to answer your questions. Are you gonna let the people have their
I
public
wanna
comment
know,
or
well,
not?
then we're just gonna stay here until everybody's done talking.
Yes, sir, but please, to the relevance of the topic.
To get back, I've heard a lot of people talk about a boss and a leader. I've had some great leaders who've taught me a bunch of things when it comes to managing. And for you folks that are here, you need to ask yourself, am I a boss or am I a leader? A boss drives employees, a leader coaches them. A boss depends on authority, a leader on goodwill. A boss inspires fear, a leader generates enthusiasm. A boss says I, a leader says we. A boss places blame for the breakdown, whereas the leader fixes the breakdown. A boss knows how it's done, but the leader shows how it's done. A boss uses people, a leader develops people. A boss takes credit, a leader gives credit. A boss commands, The leader asks.